Dr. Tan is currently the Industrial Chair of the IEEE Singapore section and the CEO of Printed Power Singapore. He is an amateur third-generation businessman with a portfolio of invested companies, an educator that professed to young minds, a researcher with practical discoveries and inventions, and an engineering professional in practice of more than 20 years. Be open-minded, listen and embrace ideas, and show empathy in whatever way possible has been his formula to make the world a better place to be in. He will actually deliver his topic entitled The Use of Artificial Intelligence of Things, AIoT, for Autonomous Vehicle. Let us welcome Dr. Tan. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Right, I like to say a good morning and good afternoon to everybody. And let me share my screen as well. Right, so today I'm going to come from two perspectives to discuss with you on the topic of IoT plus the extra A, which is the artificial intelligence in the context of vehicles, especially if it's autonomous in the sense, where lots of about safety and intelligence, right, about people. So I will start by the perspective of IEEE, and as a Central Counsel, because I am associate editor, so I see some interesting work that I like to share with the community here. May or may not be interesting, but to you or applied to you, but at least give you some sight on what the global is doing. And I will also share a little bit about this company, Printed Power, kind of solution, or maybe a kind of system that might be interesting to the engineers. Right, so as I put the context of the talk, I just briefly capture some this Phobia article that set the floor on the school of thoughts that I'm coming from, things that I like to discuss on, and that is really about AIoT. So I used to be working a lot in IoT, or in the olden days, it's just called sensor network. Today, with the ability to process things very quickly, whether at, not really even at the edge, but at the end devices, this whole domain of application is changing. Right? And in the past, you know, we just call big data or data explosion. Today, you talk about things that is data. Everything is data driven. So it helps to make decisions really at the end device on top of at the edge. Right? So my intent really is to talk a little bit about the content of AIoT to resolve this fatigue driving, unusual driving behavior. You know, let's widen up our view and see what is out there in the globe. So there's this, when I like to start to talk about AI when it meets with IoT. So there's this kind of nice picture that I got from the net that spell out what I have in mind, which is when the IoT data comes, you know, when the artificial intelligence, they come into some kind of analytics platform. Right? So what does it create? They create bigger, more and more data, obviously, and with the layout of 5G coming and so forth, and better outcomes for decision making, for businesses, for authorities, for regulators, and so forth. And this is kind of wrap up the power of data as a service to serve you and me who are really using all those systems, those cyber physical systems. So when these two elements meets, AI and IoT meets, they become smart, some kind of smart devices that actually drive efficiency and effectiveness. What does that effectively means is that it makes you and me life much easier, and it also make us move faster, obviously. In one way, you can think we become more and more tired, but it's supposed to be making us to be more efficient and more effective. Right? And the intelligence behind it actually enables data analytics, right, to optimize systems that generate higher performance I like to think that the mention here is business insights. So as business owner, we don't used to have all this I would say this kind of platform that allows us to have sights over what is really going on, even at the very lower layer. But today, almost everything is being traced and tracked. You can actually make better decisions, and even more exciting is the system actually start to learn. So the learning part, where you come with ML, machine learning, able to classify, able to spot for abnormality, actually create new intelligence to improve our daily things. Especially in this case, it will be the vehicle safety and so forth. So there is this special session, a special issue that within our IEEE community, especially the IEEE Sensors Council, that I actually participate as the guest editor. And I think it's kind of interesting to share this with the people here, what is going on with the ITS, Intelligent Transport Systems, where sensors or advanced sensing can play a role. As you read on what is available on the text here, this is really the call for paper that was happening since last year, but it has closed. But I think it's the thinking behind it will be interesting for the broader community here to explore what is there in the academics and research industry fields. Is the vehicle with the vehicular applications, like autonomous driving, fleet management. I like to really pinpoint this and think about traffic efficiency, driving safeties, and also ride comfort. Right? How are we able, or what should we be concerned with when this kind of autonomous comes to our daily life? Are we able to take care? Right, so as I continue to read on, and I think there's a few red words here I actually highlighted. Right, there will be a lot of intensive computational, like our speakers are trying to bring across, right, where there's a need for ultra low latency. Right, this is big topic that people want to investigate, improve their comms, their data processing, signal processing, and so forth and so forth. The sensors efficiency, sensor capability, and so forth. And ultimately is the data-driven intelligent transportation systems. Right, today, even our ERP has gone all the way to satellite-based and so forth. I mean, this is amazing and great work that's happening today. Right. So I just want to bring your attention what really it means in this special issue, that so that you know later in the next slide I show you some of the work, that was some of the submission that people discussed. Is around surrounding this sensor system for ITS, the challenges, and particularly on driving safety and driver behaviors. Right. So the scope of the special issue was so, but I just pinpoint two. One is on vehicle accidents and the ability to detect and classify and recognize vehicle emotion. So I pick up three of them that I thought is interesting to, you might seen it or heard it from somewhere, but people have already demonstrated. Of course, when we record or we take in submission, we do not take in very pure, theoretical studies, but they are proven, or in some way they prove themselves to the reviewers. Right. So this is one of the interesting work that I came across that I want to bring to your attention, where using smartphones. A simple smartphone can already detect abnormal driving behaviors, right? Using the onboard sensors with deep learning, this capability features extraction, and then you can start to identify and differentiate driving behaviors. It's kind of interesting when I was looking through and assigning for reviewers and the feedback from reviewers. I'd like to bring attention that such things as ongoing. It's quite recent. The other one that I came across that I also like to bring to your attention is the drunk status detection. So by simply using image processing, and then not just image processing from more of the global perspective, but also the local perspective with sensors as a network. Right, so you can easily detect people's they are actually swaying around, looking at their eye. And then you have some kind of feature extraction and classification algorithms with machines learning systems. And the last one is something that I also pick it up. It's kind of interesting to talk about fatigue. You know, I don't know whether you drive, but when I drive, I feel tired after some time. And I do read some 1 year ago, bans has already for lorry trucks drivers, and they automate the driving process. They let the people close, they allow the automates, but then they can detect through their face, through their head, and so forth. So with local sensors and their behavior, you can start to detect and learn from their behavior. Right. So this is roughly from the I like to bring to share with you about what has been recorded in that special issue in the IEEE. The next site I want to bring from the business, I mean, as a product to the audience, is this company called Printed Power, which is with its research background, you know, with its technology development, with its support from investment scheme. Today is actually a self-autonomous, like energy harvesting sensors at the edge for capturing insights about what is going on to assets and people. So the core strength really about the company is, as many people has been rightfully brought out, the needs of the age, where, you know, because not mentioning that cloud really is helpful and is today, but as we are getting more and more end devices, sensors, you will find that merely relying on clouds might not be the best option in some application, especially when you start to have real time. Right? So there's this one work this project that we collaborate with a professor in China, that is to have the sensors, the simple sensors like this. You can see just one small piece of sensor is a 3-axis vibration sensors, that the vibration information, the XYZ, you can already do some online detection via the data that is uploaded, with even the real-time analytics alerting if they start to sway, the vehicles start to turn around. You can even have trace of all these things, and then you can start to send out alerts, real-time monitoring over dashboards or on mobile phones. Right. Of course, this kind of work are also cut verticals, as I want to mention to you as well, for assets. As I also mentioned, that the company also touch assets like smart manufacturing application, as well as whole facility monitoring, that allows you to have the ability to real-time monitor assets or what is happening on the roads, what is happening to people, and then you just actually capture it with some kind of analytics. You learn it, and you can start to do alerts and so forth. I just like to do a very short 1-2 minutes demonstration for those who might be interested. Right, so these are all live on the net. That, of course, this is our own. The dashboards allows you to access to what is happening globally. So in this case, we station this in 2 main countries that serve our clients. Right. So let me just do a very simple view on. All right, yes. So let's say if I go to one of the sites that I like to look at it, there's a 43 sensors over there. Right. I can just easily pin to look at it. Right. This is happening somewhere in Jurong. Right. So we are looking at what is going on in the core facility in a real-time situation. Right. So this data can easily be CSV, and then you can do post-processing, or you can actually embed this small codes inside the dashboard to allow real-time alerting if something goes wrong, anomaly happen, and so forth. So it applies to onboard EVs information as well. Okay, so this is a quick understanding on how we actually continue to do a real-time monitoring on whatever things that we tag to, and allow us to have a consolidated all kind of information.